a Peculiar Occurrence fan? Well, I've opened up a store just for you. So head on over and buy your Peculiar Occurrence gear today. Links are in the description box below. Thank you. Have you ever heard the legend of the Green Children? Children from another dimension? Or perhaps children just inflicted with a very rare disease? Either way, it sure is peculiar, so you know we gotta talk about it. Hi, and welcome to Peculiar Occurrences. I am your host, Lilith Nova. The legend of the Green Children of Woolpit concerns two children of unusual skin color who reportedly appeared in the village of Woolpit, Suffolk, England, sometime in the 12th century, during the reign of King Stephen. The children were brother and sister. They were generally of normal appearance except for the green coloring of their skin. The only near contemporary accounts appear in two books, one by William of Newburgh and one by Ralph of Coggeshall, written in 1189 and 1220. Between then and their rediscovery in the mid-19th century, the Green Children seem to only surface in a passing mention in William Camden's Britannia in 1586, and in Francis Goodwin's fantasy book, The Man in the Moon, in the early 17th century. And in both, William of Newburgh's original account was cited. Okay, the story goes like this. One day at harvest time, according to William Newburgh, during the reign of King Stephen, this would be in between 1135 and 1154. The villagers of Woolpit discovered two children, a brother and sister, and they were found next to a wolf pit, which is part of what gave the village its name. Their skin was green, and they spoke an unknown language, and their clothing was unfamiliar. Ralph reports that the children were taken to the home of Richard D. Kane. Ralph and William's accounts both agree that neither one of the children could handle real food and would not consume it whatsoever. They refused to eat for days. That is, until they came across some raw beans, in which they hurriedly ate the raw beans out of starvation. Soon after, the children started to eat real food and soon adapted to eating real food and was able to eat it on a regular basis. Shortly after getting on a more regular diet, their green skins started to fade. Unfortunately, shortly after the two had been baptized, the boy, who seemed to be the younger of the two, passed away. After learning to speak English, the surviving girl explained to the villagers that they had come from a land where the sun never shone and the light was always of twilight. William accounted that the children called their home St. Martin's Land. Ralph's account added that everything there was green. And according to William, the children were unable to account for how they had gotten to Woolpit. William's account says that the children had been herding their father's cattle that day when they heard a rather large sound, and then suddenly found themselves beside the wolf pit. Ralph's account says that the children had become lost after following their father's cattle into a cave, in which, after they were in the cave, they followed the sound of bells into our lands. According to Ralph, the girl was employed for years as a servant in Richard D. Clane's household. where she was considered loose and imprudent. William says that she eventually married a man from Kingsland, about 40 miles or 64 kilometers away from Woolpit, where she still had been living shortly before he had written his book. It stated that she was given the name Agnes, and that she married a royal officer named Richard Barr. Now, a few approaches has dominated explanation for this story. A lot of people think it's just folklore depicting imaginary encounters with people from another world, perhaps subterranean or even extraterrestrial, or perhaps it's a garbled account of historical events. There are also those that think that this is a story about prejudice against the Welsh. And then those that believe that this is a very true event and the children were suffering from something called green sickness. Green sickness is a generic term for any kind of anemia in which the blood cells are paler than normal. This can cause the skin to have a green tint and can occur due to poor diet, which weakens the blood cells. This condition is easily cured through a healthy diet. Many believe this to be what occurred since the children lost their green tint soon after being put on a more healthy diet. Whichever may be true, this is certainly a peculiar occurrence, both the green children and green sickness. Have you ever heard the story of the green children or green sickness? Which hypothesis about the green children do you think is true? Let me know down in the comments below. And also, as you may see, I got my peculiar occurrence shirt in the mail. It's beautiful. I'm loving it. You can't see it, but be peculiar. You like it? I like it. You like it? I like it. We both like it. Heck yeah. I'm choking. Alright. So if you want one of these babies, or perhaps my new Peculiar Squad shirt, which a lot of people on social media seem to be going crazy about, hit that link down below and check out my store. I hope that you like what I have for you. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you like this show, please subscribe. And until next time, keep your eyes peeled for all things peculiar. Do 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 do.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.